much from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer. With boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Hey, what's that? Hey, boy, what's that? What's Sally Park? I hope she bring lights. That way. Somebody park, man. Hey!
With your hands them up in the sky, rolling back and having a time. Lord, we liming again, and we have money to spend. Yes, we jamming down to the end. See me with me carnival friend. Lord, me carnival friend. I wish she come from there. London, I wish she come from there. New York, I wish she come from there. When you come in, my baby, I wish she come from there. Atlanta, she come from there. Toronto, she come from there. And I know that you miss me. I love the way that you bring a vibe. With your hands them up in the sky, falling down and having a time. Whining season again, and we have we money to spend, and we jamming down to the end. Rolling with me carnival friend, lad, me carnival friend. Yeah, me carnival friend. Oh yeah, lad, me carnival friend. Yeah, lad, me carnival friend. Until we meet up again. Everything done start, you know. The back done park, you know. She dreaming to take a wine on me, cause she coming down to please. When she ramage, she push it back, all the bam bam rolling, and she saving some for me. I telling you, I love whenever you bring a vibe. With your hands them up in the sky, what we drunk and having a time. and we have well money to spend, and we go right down to the end. Watch me with my cannibal friend, them me cannibal friend. Yeah, now me cannibal friend. Oh, yeah, now me cannibal friend. Yeah, now me cannibal friend. Until we meet up again. When we meet, rum go beat. Things so sweet, feel complete. Cause we love we bacchanal. Eat, rum go beat. Things so sweet. Well, it must be carnival. I love the way that you bring a vibe. With your hands them up in the sky, rolling back and having a time. Lord, we lying again, and we have well money to spend, and we jamming down to the end. See me with my cannibal friend, them my cannibal friend. Yeah, me cannibal friend. Oh, yeah, now me cannibal friend. Yeah, me cannibal friend. Oh, yeah.
Wake up, rise up. It's the Net Radio Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
Now me cannibal friend. Yeah, me cannibal friend. Oh, yeah. Now me cannibal friend.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Wherever you may be, Trinidad and Tobago, up and down the Caribbean, and of course, if you're streaming all around the globe, in your different spaces and time slots, right now, if you have not got it as yet, just now you have to start to look for it, right? Your carnival friend. But guess what? We can be that carnival friend with you here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio. So let me say a very special good morning to everybody. Welcome inside of a brand new year. And I know it's going to be a good one for you. I can feel it from where I said. As always, I want to say much thanks to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day. And all that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing unto you. People of your truly Sir Charles checking in. Yes, and of course, the best spot that you can find yourself right here. You'll get up and go. Welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line, let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Oh, good vibes rolling through the air. The Breakfast Show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
Welcome back, The Breakfast Show. Happy 2026, everybody.
Oh.
Happy 2026, everybody.
We are here. Good morning, everybody.
My
And of course-
mic was muted. Good morning. Good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. What a difference a year makes. But it's good. It's good to be back. We're here. We're happy to be in the land of the living. For those who would have lost loved ones, including the community of Tacarigua, Tenapuna, Edward Hart, fondly known as Eddie Hart, passed away yesterday at the age of, I think it was 89. What was Eddie's age? Quite a...
Yeah, well, you're going to be right up there.
Yeah, he lived a full life. I have fond memories of campaigning with Eddie Hart in Tunapuna. On the back of my pickup, he stood in the back of my pickup. I drove him around in places I never knew before.
That as you talk, that was the last time I remember, seeing him in that capacity.
Yeah.
I think the last time I saw him would have been something like that, the elections coming in.
Yeah.
He campaigned all the way down the road there.
Yes. He served 3 terms, 15 years in the parliament. But he was such a nice guy. You know what I mean? Such an approachable, affable guy. And I mean, he was a central figure at Massey All Stars in the percussion section. Everybody used to just go look out for him hailing. He would hail everybody. He would take pictures with everybody. He was just one of those politicians that I swear that would have remained forever in a seat like Tunapuna. You know what I mean? And I remember the time when he lost. You know what I mean? And it was heartbreaking, and then he came back and of course won again, and Eddie Hart is a great loss to the community of Tunapuna. I read a lot of tributes to him, but I think Jaron Joseph's tribute was the absolute best. It was a wonderful eulogy. So Jaron, if you're listening, thank you for sharing that eulogy on Eddie Hart on social media. It was an absolutely wonderful eulogy. A lot of people had a lot to say, a lot of only good things to say about Eddie. I don't know that there's anything bad to say. He served in the Ministry of Culture. He served in other spheres in government, both in opposition and in government. And there's a savannah named after him.
Where you can find him every now and then.
Yeah, because he lived really right opposite on the eastern main road.
You can always go there and look out for him. Get out, walk in, meeting people, talking. Actually, I felt that at some point in time that was like his office,
Yeah, well, that's how he treated it, eh?
Yeah.
They just drop by, But,
because when they're walking or he's moving around, sometimes you see him in this area, he's talking to some people. He moved on, he talked to some other people. I say, you ain't coming out here to exercise. But I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's the people. You got to talk to the people. Yeah, but
he really was a
gentleman. Real down-to-earth individual.
Very, very down-to-earth. Very down-to-earth and approachable. All politicians could take a page out of Eddie Hart's book, into how he interacted with people, So he passed away yesterday. So to his family, Terrence, whom I knew well, his son, whom I know well too, his son, and all the members of the Tacarigua Tunapuna community, and of course to the People's National Movement, whom he represented. Our deepest condolences from us here on the Breakfast Show. Right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, we have not seen Richard for the morning as yet, and he did indicate that some days he will be out. He has some stuff that he's doing, so he will be in and out. So
he's
out for him anytime, any day.
He's apparently central to all these negotiations that are taking place within the Caribbean right now. He has some high-level meetings to attend and whatnot.
That is it, because real high-level meetings taking place now, eh?
Yeah, man.
Hey.
Yeah.
People meeting, talking, all manner of things going on take place. How you spending Christmas?
Me,
and your New Year?
Well, I didn't do much. I went by my one sister Christmas Day, the next sister Boxing Day, and basically that was it. New Year's, for the old year's night, I was home in my bed early, and the fireworks is what woke me up. I said, "Hey, it's midnight already." And that's what woke me up. I didn't come outside to look, which I normally do. I just stayed in my bed until it stopped. Because surprisingly, though, it stopped a little earlier than normal.
Yeah,
so the people in Arima certainly kept to the restrictions of 11:30 to 12:30. And then I went back to bed, and that was it.
Okay.
That's my Christmas in a nutshell right there.
Well, yeah, believe it or not, I didn't have much more different situations than you did in any case, Yeah, I was tied down here doing a lot of stuff, and just as you said, when the old years into the New Year's, closer to that time, you just go outside, watch the place just light up, get busy, and it went 12 o'clock, everything just started all over. It was a beautiful sight. It didn't last too long.
I didn't even go to look.
It didn't last too long. And then, well, of course, just the one or two stragglers that came in after You know, it always has somebody who will always be going past the limit. So I heard one or two persons, you know, going down the road until actually about 20 past 1. I was kind of timing it, you know, but from all around 12:30, it started to get less and less, you know, and then 1 o'clock you hear a little thing now, and next 5 minutes you hear a little thing, and then somebody across on the other side seemed to have had some stuff, and about 1:20 something, I say, right, and then after that, I hear them again.
I had a pretty quiet Christmas, and I was okay with it. I didn't feel like celebrating Christmas this year. So a lot of people who sent me greetings, I responded, "Bah humbug." I know some of them didn't like it, but that's all right. You know, that's how I felt. You know, I don't have no problem people celebrating Christmas.
You just want to be in a corner by yourself.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I just wanted to be alone. You know, as I say, my family comes first all the time, and when I was with my sisters on both days, eat my belly full, take a little drink. We had a gift exchange as we normally do as a family, and that was it.
You got a gift this year?
Yes, I actually got a gift. I actually got, I don't even know who it was from, which one of my family, but I actually got a gift.
Well, at least somebody here did it.
Yeah.
Somebody here complain and say, see, I ain't with that now.
Yeah, because I don't normally get, but you know, as I say, my family comes first for me all the time.
At the end of the day, once they're happy, you know. Once they're happy and they're cool, you know, it gets to I think that point in life at some point for almost everybody, you know, where the emphasis is not on you anymore, you know, it's more on them. So once they're happy and they're comfortable, you get rid of that.
So that was it. I'm sure a lot of people had fun. I saw a lot of postings, I saw a lot of pictures, I saw a lot of other things, you know, so I'm sure everybody had fun. I'm happy for them, you know, but yeah, and then Christmas, of course, we go straight into the New Year's with this situation in Venezuela that we thought was similar, how I should put it, de-escalating, and it just suddenly erupted 2 mornings ago, Saturday morning. It just suddenly erupted, and here we are. We don't know where we're going or whether we're coming or going now. You know, it's just a wait and see game now. You know, as to what happens next. You know.
Well, but I don't know. I just said, you know, you really thought, but for me personally, I never really thought that it was de-escalating. You know, I somehow I think I said it. I didn't see one of the other shows. I don't see them doing and making all that sort of build up over all these months, and then just drawing back just like that. I felt that they had whatever the agenda is going to be. Some part of that had to be carried out.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't expecting it to happen the way that it happened. You know,
I don't know if you've seen the images, Sir Charles, of what they've posted. Of course, there are several memes and caricatures taking place, and AI stuff. But the ones that have been released allegedly by the Americans themselves of Maduro, he doesn't look very stressed, does he?
Yeah, he did.
He doesn't, you know. It just seems like normal pictures. Like if it's some kind of arranged. I don't know. This is my opinion, folks. I have no evidence to support. It just seems like something that was scripted. That's how.
You got that kind of feeling.
Yeah, it just seems like something that was scripted. You know. So, I mean, Delcy Rodriguez is now in charge of Venezuela. Of course, the U.S. president is warning her. That's one of the headlines in today's papers about if she doesn't do what's right, she is going to pay a very big price, probably bigger than Maduro. That's one of the headlines in today's newspapers. You know, so it just
just crazy.
Yeah, it just seems that I don't know what's going on, and I guess we just have to wait and see. You know what's going to happen.
All right. Well, let's do our good news, and then we will we will come back.
Yeah, we can get back into some of these stories. Yes.
All right.
I'm not religious, but when I see someone running to catch the bus, I say a silent prayer for them. I pray to no one and everyone when I silently say, I hope you make it. And these 5 words contain all the things I wish for this stranger. I hope you make it. I hope the stars align and you can be at the right place at the right time. And once the fight to catch the bus is won, you can rest and catch your breath instead, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. I have all these little hopes for the strangers I see. Like, I hope you have the most perfect cup of tea. And I hope that your mornings are slow. And that you learn how to let go like the autumn leaves do in bursts of bright color, making way for something new. And I hope someone always holds out a hand for you when you need it, but also that you have the courage to take it, knowing that you have the strength to hold heaviness when you face it. And I hope you always have a place that feels like home, whether it's a physical place or one that you carry with you in your soul. And I hope that people are kind and life is good and you are safe and loved as everyone should be. We all deserve this. And I'm not religious, but I have been praying more lately for the strangers I see in real life and the ones on the telly. And it can be for things as mundane as catching trains, or for the people who are fleeing things some are more hesitant to name. Because what is a prayer but a wish for all humanity? One that shoulders all of our collective hopes for the things that we see and that we fight for. Because we hope and we fight for equal rights, the end of genocide, peace on this earth, and kids to not know what hurt is. So when I say, I hope you make it, those 5 words contain not only the weight of the world, but the promise to break it and remake it and rebalance the scales. To be a drop in the ocean that swells to make all ships rise, so we can all sail safely and actually self-actualize. So when I say, I hope you make it, I am not only praying for you, I hope you make it because I hope we all do. So when you see someone running for the bus or someone who is facing something you would rather turn away from, I hope you hold on to your hope and stay engaged. Your hope shines out like the sun's rays. Without it, the world only gets more grey. Without our collective hope, we can't believe in change, and change is something we need to make. So I hope you make it. I hope we all do. Thank you.
I hope you make it. I hope we all do.
Yeah.
What a nice way to open the new year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Very timely. All right, let's greet some people in the chat. So Charles, you had to look out for if Richard jumps in at some point in time, right?
I'm already here. You don't pay attention to your screen. Do not pay attention to your screen.
Oh, look, very true. Well, I don't know. I want to see you. We can't see you.
Yeah, so I said well, so Charles, see there, you're seeing me, you're seeing me.
That's not
you see, you're seeing me. There you are, you're seeing.
Oh Lord, it's gonna be one of those years, people.
Good morning to everybody. A happy new year to everybody in the stream, and of course everybody watching us wherever you're watching us from. Good morning, and of course a big happy new year and the best of all for 2026. And of course the same greetings, of course, to my co-hosts, and good morning, Sir Charles and Wendell.
All right, Richard. Thanks you. Good morning, and thanks for joining us. You know what I mean? You don't look a day older than 2025.
I know. I try.
Yeah, I know. So let's greet the people in the chat. Mavis Peterson Paul came in last night at 8:16. Happy New Year. Welcome back, Wendell and Richard. Much love and blessings to all. She's from under her Toronto blanket. From Toronto, under my covers. Okay, all right. Toronto covers. Valerie Mendoza says, good morning. Happy New Year. Eunice Dublin, good morning and Happy New Year. Suzette and Mrs. Gemma Happy New Year. Felix Kazo also says good morning. John DeSantis, Happy New Year. Ava Smith, blessed morning, Richard, Wendell, and Sir Charles. Margaret Thomas, good morning and welcome back. Happy New Year. Odell Guy from Sangre Grande. Diane Payne, Sweet Money Grip. Erica Charles says, Happy New Year. Yesterday was my second child's birthday. Carla Rose David. She was 6 years. So happy birthday, Carla Rose David, from your mommy, Erica. Deborah Noel Serret, Manuela Peters, Kenny in Harlem. Apollonius says he hopes we had a wonderful Christmas. Marlon Motley, good morning, all happy 2026. Kathy-Ann Charles also says good morning and happy new year. Also to Arlene in Bronxville, who's back in Bronxville. Melissa Nelson Arthur, Carol Guevara, blessing soul for a fantastic 2026. Brennan Smith, Nicola Nichols, Wendy Ann and Frank James says good morning, happy new year. Gavin Frank, Trini Merle Kitchen, Arch Nemesis says happy new year. All this show now has the potential to be the only breakfast morning show after the decimation of, well, yeah, a lot of other shows have ended their run. Keep it professional and entertaining. David Wares, morning guys, happy new year. Are we not on Gael anymore? He's asking a question, so Charles will answer in a short.
Well, I sent out a message very early to remind them that, hey, this is the day that we start back. So,
okay. Well, I haven't seen a message from my sister yet who watches us on Gael. She hasn't messaged me yet saying we're not on, so I guess we're on. Happy New Year from Merle McComey, Alistair Hart, Trinidad Margot, Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona, Joyce Phillip, The Slimy Show said, sup. You know, I respond a lot of times like that, you know. When people send me a message, I say sup. Michael Cadet is short for what's up. What's up? Michael Cadet, CJ from New York, morning CJ. Boy Bidesi from Debe, Garfield Hazel, Chris Toussaint, Grand Rising Gentlemen, Oliver Manwarin, Rosie Bagan, Florence Bazi. Carol is asking where's Richard? Well, he's here. Debbie Modest, good morning, happy new year. Carla Hercules, Dave Gosine. Slimy Show says Maduro was betrayed. That's a school of thought. Shema Paul says good morning, guys. Old lady also says good morning and blessings. Mrs. R is laughing. What's she laughing at? You know? She says good morning. Old lady Putin is the master dictator. Right? Okay. Julia Samantha says good morning, guys. Happy New Year. Sherwin and Juliet Kerr, happy New Year. Welcome back. Doreen Pierre, Trini Merle Kitchen, happy New Year, guys. Oshawa is in Trinidad and Tobago. Or she is in Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome back. Seamad, morning, guys. Bernice McDonald, blessed morning and happy New Year. Sherwin and Juliet. Okay, that message. Good morning, Lady Fabulous. Mavis P. Hun. That's from Anon. Jennifer says good morning and happy new year to everyone. Welcome back, Wendell and Richard. Lester Cradwell, good morning, guys. Victor Tongs, morning, gents. Estelita Sampson, morning. You are on TV, okay? So we are on TV. Pearl Cordis and Stacey Ann from Brazil Village, happy new year. Felix Cazo says he's watching on Gael. And so is Shoma Paul watching on Gael. So we welcome the Gael viewership. And of course, the viewers on YouTube and Facebook and all other smart devices all over the place. All right. So, Charles, you have greetings?
Yeah. I have a couple of greetings. First of all, let me send out some happy birthday greetings to Sion Hepburn. So, Sion is celebrating his birthday today. So, Sion, I want to wish you a happy birthday. Also to Kent out there in Laventille. Good morning to you, Kent. Kent is always here early. Archbishop Ashton Clark, good to have you back. Carlin and Kelly, nice to have you guys on the move out of Carenage. Zena, good day to you. Happy New Year. Peter Wilson, good morning. Charmaine out there in New York, good morning to you, Charmaine. Let me say it proper. CJ out there in New York. Mm-hmm. Captain Ron, good morning to you. Mr. Bidding, Powder Magazine, good morning. Sankofa, good morning. Judith out there in Tobago, Mount St. George. We'll probably come by you and do the breakfast show one day, Judith. Also, Brenda in Penal, Sachin, good morning to you. And I think that is it. Everybody else, we're coming in on the different areas on the streams. Thank you very much. And all the best in 2026. I had to get accustomed to saying that, yeah?
Yeah, I know. I'm going to make that mistake several times. Trust me, on checks especially.
Yeah, all the older people always take long to reacclimate, yes, Lord.
No,
This is what I'm stuck with. This is what I'm stuck with.
I'm sure you've made that mistake. writing a check or date and putting it as the previous year. But you know, with checks, you can't afford to make that mistake because it means it's that stale date. It will be a stale dated check. You know?
Yeah.
I didn't know people still wrote checks.
Yes, some people still do.
I guess for businesses, yeah.
And the government. And the government.
Yeah, you just need that 4 days to try to find the money sometimes.
So you're right, Tony, the money as yet. That's that kind of fraud, right?
No. You're right. As long as the money is there when the check is to be encashed. It's fraud when
if you write it and you know you have no money, that's when it's fraud.
Yeah, that's when it's fraud. Yeah.
And usually if you have a good relationship with your bank, even if you're short, your bank would call you and say, look, your check is here. And generally, if you have a good relationship and you have a vibrant business, they probably will cash it.
Yeah.
Even if you're short, yeah.
That's the life of a business person.
Yep. No, I get it.
All right, guys. So we're going for a short break, and we will be back. Stay with us.
Yep.
Looking for pet supplies that wouldn't bite? Visit Bow Wow Supply Limited, your friendly family-owned pet store at the corner of Cane Farm Avenue and 5th Street West, Cane Farm, Trinidad City. We offer fabulous prices, great service, and a wide range of foods, treats, toys, grooming products, and accessories. Everything your pet needs in one place. We are open Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sundays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Coming today, Bow Wow Supply Limited, Cane Farm Avenue and 5th Street West, Cane Farm, Trinidad City. Your pet's friendly place. Call us at 640-7184.
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Welcome back, The Breakfast Show. Happy 2026, everybody.
Richard, where's the picture? Where's the picture? Put up the picture. I just want to see. Somebody that sent that message about that picture. They say, let me read what they message. Let me read the exact words of the message. Say that photo of Richard was taken days before our CIC graduation. So somebody went CIC. They say that is when it was.
Absolutely not. That picture is not that old.
Well, that's
CIC graduation?
Yeah.
When my waistline was 28?
now. What is it now?
It ain't 28.
It's 82.
It ain't 28, I can tell you that. But yeah, but that's what I was generally a very slim teenager.
Weren't we all?
Very, very, no, not everybody was slim. What you shopping is you asking? Saying not everybody was slim. But
anyway,
I
that was
said
from Gary Griffith. Gary Griffith sent a message. He said that was from that was before CIC graduation.
Yeah, olive spew olive hate early in 2026. Spew it.
Oh Lord.
Oh, anyway, we get into headlines. Let's get into headlines. Because we
I can't assist with headlines, so somebody will have to do both.
All right.
We'll have to do two.
No problem. I'll do the Express and any other one. Today, of course, is Monday, January 5th, and if you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday today. Trump warns Delcy. That's the main headline, and there are pictures of U.S. President Donald Trump and acting president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez. U.S. the Venezuelan acting president. If she doesn't do what's right, she is going to pay a very big price, probably bigger than Maduro. That's the main headline in today's Express. And then there's a picture under the caption, "Backing Maduro, Liberian Maduro." That's a placard one of the supporters holding up. A government supporter holds a banner reading in Spanish, "Free Maduro," during a protest yesterday in Caracas, Venezuela, demanding President Nicolas Maduro's release after American forces captured and flew him to the United States the day before. That's the main picture on the front page of today's Express. And of course, you know, for all the talk about regime changes, that's me adding something here. All the talk about regime change, there's been no regime change in Venezuela. There's been a leader change. The change in leader. The regime is still intact. Anyway, at the back of the Express, squatters must go. Illegal AGC occupiers will be removed, so says Housing Minister Dr. David Lee. And then there's a picture under the caption, "Brunch and Bunch. Friends enjoy the revelry on Saturday at Jamboree Park, Valsain during their Winer Boy Entertainment's Brunch and Fete, signaling the start of the fetting season." There's a whole group of friends there. Of course, other stories in the newspaper reads, "Maduro gone, but regime intact."
Very much intact.
Citizens, and of course, Sobers, nothing to worry about. Well, if I tell you Sean Sobers, anyway, let me leave Sean alone. So that's today's Express. So Charles, which one are you doing? I'll find it.
I'll do the Guardian. Let me see if I can find me in this maze now. Here. Oh Lord.
Well, you want me to do the Newsday by the time?
Now I'll find it. So PM non-committal on TNT's energy future despite Maduro's indictment. And oh Lord, what happened here now? All right, okay, right. Local
what's going on, Sir Charles? What's going on?
Local groups protest U.S. actions in Venezuela. PM not surprised as U.S. indictment links Caribbean politicians to Maduro's cocaine network. HDC launches $1 billion mismanagement probe. Airlines scramble to resume flights as U.S. lifts Caribbean airspace restrictions. CARICOM Bureau calls for peaceful talks in Venezuela. The Children's Authority confirms Cyril Rosholm could not meet licensing requirements. And Maduro being held in notorious Brooklyn jail. Right, that's the Guardian, guys.
All right, some of the trending stories in the Newsday is Sobers PM is on top of things. Beckles, where is Kamala? Valencia woman shot dead. And PNM mourns the loss of Eddie Hart. Griffith, that's Gary Griffith, the bully has been bullied. Those are some of the trending stories. Manager sues company over alleged wrongful dismissal. NGC on shutdown. Nutrien held TT to ransom. Sobers PM is on top of things. Those are all trending stories in all of our three newspapers today. All right. So I guess we could, well, I mean, all these stories have been covered. Well, we had a plan. Sir Charles, Richard, and I had a plan as to how we start the year with the issue of the traffic tickets and whatnot. And then, bam! Everything just turned topsy-turvy. When we would have been talking about traffic tickets and the maxi fares and all manner of things this morning, the US take over the news with Venezuela.
Yeah, well, and we may not be so off the mark because we should be. That all depends on the availability. He's just like Richard today in transit and that sort of thing. So we may, after the poll in 7 o'clock, be able to talk with the president of the Maxi Taxi Association.
Yeah, that's Brenton Knights, right?
Yeah, Brenton Knights. That's the route to Maxi.
We're still trying to follow up on that story.
Yeah.
You know, but so much has changed in such a short space of time. Just when we were only talking about traffic tickets and $10,000 ticket and $4,500 ticket, because people started posting the tickets, you understand? As to show some of the ridiculous fines. Everything changed in the entire world. And of course, I think flights have resumed today in terms of the airspace. Some of the international carriers couldn't fly or didn't fly over the last couple of days because of what was happening in Venezuela, you know. So I think flights have been resumed from today. So there's going to be a backlog because you imagine you about to land in Piaco, coming in from New York, the second day of the year, third day of the year, and your flight had to turn back and go back to New York. Could you imagine that? That must have been extremely stressful for people.
I guess it had to be. But as you talk about ticket, check this out.
Police, after I make a loss there, right? I walk on the scrap iron and thing about Oli. Understand? And I'm making my loss and thing. Oli, the man me all these tickets there. I tell the man ticket going up, ticket expenses now. Understand? It's double or nothing. All them set a ticket that man give me. I trying to make a loss and walking my scrap iron good. I bounce up a roadblock, but me ain't go run. They make it look, I think my roadblock. I say I go talk to the man, look at ticket he give me. What I go and do to all them ticket? I don't want them thing, I don't need them thing. All them set a ticket he gave me. You understand? I can't go and negotiate all them ticket.
You know, that's looking like the van I saw.
On the road that you posted. Yes.
Remember I sent a video of a van I saw?
Yes, they wanted all that on the road. Yeah.
The van had no number plate in the back, you know.
Right. So that looked like the very same van. You're right.
Yes. I see that van. I was coming up from Dago, so the van was either coming from Carina, and I saying, "What is this van doing on the road? And how nobody's seeing this van?" I videotape the van as I do from time to time when I'm driving because the media in me does come out. You know, and I said, "What madness I see in here!" I didn't know it make video. It make
because like somebody see it. Well, just looking at the video, you can see how we can get all them tickets.
No, the van is a mess. That van had no right on the road. I say it didn't have a number plate at the back. My God.
And your people, make sure your vehicles are roadworthy. Yeah?
Yes, please.
Right? Make sure they check all this stuff. I see they don't have to wheel not here. You can get charged.
Yeah, and obey the laws, especially with speeding and parking and things like that. Try to obey because my prediction is a lot of people are going to challenge a lot of those tickets and not pay them. Because once you challenge a ticket, it means it's out of your thing now. It goes to the court. And the court system is backlogged with it. But it does nothing to you. Whereas the demerit points would have done something to you. You know what I mean? My God.
All right, well, we have a lot to do before we get to your phone calls in a little bit. So let's get into our Did You Know segment.
Yeah.
Saying Merry Christmas again, that I can tell you. Very soon, we're going to start saying Merry Christmas again.
We're bringing back Merry Christmas. I am so sick and tired of saying Happy Holidays. So the word holiday actually comes from the Old English haledech, with hale meaning holy, sacred, consecrated, dech meaning day. It was specifically for Christian holidays. It was a word created to specify a Christian holiday that was coming up, and it was used exclusively for Christian holidays until around 1100. It wasn't until the 14th and 15th century that that definition began to expand. But they say the same thing about Xmas, saying, oh, they're taking the Christ out of Christmas. You can't write Xmas. That's because everything's a conspiracy when you don't know how anything works. So the Greek word meaning anointed one is Christos. The first letter in Christos is an X. It's a letter called chi that looks a lot like a Roman X. And in ancient cultures especially, it was disrespectful to say or write the name of your god. It was considered blasphemous. So they would often abbreviate the names of their gods. So they used the letter chi to designate Christos, the name of Christ, to honor his sacred name. And let's not forget that Christmas trees come from pagan traditions, especially Germanic and Celtic tribes, and that December 25th was not picked for the birthday of Jesus until the 4th century when the Roman Empire decided to make Christianity its imperial religion and replace their Sol Invictus and Saturnalia pagan traditions, which celebrated solstice and the returning of light, so that it would be easier to acclimate pagan practices into the new imperial religion of Christianity. And that's before I get to the common sense part, where happy holidays is easier if I don't know what someone celebrates, and it's easier than saying Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if I'm not going to see that person before the New Year, because inclusion is not a pie. Just because you give some to someone else doesn't mean there's less for you, and it's not a threat to you if you're not selfish, self-absorbed, and entitled. What's really taking the Christ out of Christmas is demonizing brown people while the savior you claim you worship is brown, using armed forces to strip families apart and body snatch them off the street when they haven't done anything wrong, and then using Christianity as a cloak for your racism when white people didn't exist in the Bible at all. Happy holidays.
Happy holiday if you didn't know, eh?
Okay.
Now you know.
All right. If you see a frown on my face, it's not by accident. Let's take calls. Yes, let me don't even comment on what I just watch or listen to. Anyway, morning Trini, Alistair Hart, Manuela Peters, old lady Michael Oliver said, Black Leo, Wendell is no, it's not me. Huh? Trust me, if you'd seen that van, you'd yeah, that's say what kind of madness is this?
That man had more ticket than the chip I see my wife come home with after going to the supermarket for Christmas. She had maybe about 1 or 2 chips because he looked like
oh gosh, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Borik also to Ambrose Blah and Prabha Ramdial, good morning. Anon, Susie B, and of course Rena Budu Jennings. Morning, Rena. All right, those are some of the new people who came in after we greeted the original set. So we could open the lines and take some of your calls. Of course, so much has happened in such a short space of time. You know what I mean? And we are yet to hear from our Prime Minister.
Yeah. Caller, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Nemesis.
How are you doing?
We're good, we're good.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, guys. Something I noticed over the holidays here. I had several things to do all over the country over the last couple of days. And I had the fortune or misfortune, depending on where you look at it, to go to different parts of the country to do some things. And one thing stuck out to me, that although we are having this conversation nationwide about tickets and traffic offenses, some people still aren't being proactive and using this opportunity to examine their vehicles. I was driving yesterday and I checked no less than half a dozen vehicles with a simple infraction like no tail light, no brake lights. People of Trinidad and Tobago, don't give away all your hand for accuracy for speed. These are offenses, these are tickets we don't have to get if you be a little proactive and check your vehicle. Something like no tail light is something you can avoid. Let your son, let your daughter, let your wife, let your husband sit down in the vehicle and mash the brakes, check your reverse light. I was telling everybody, I spend a lot of time, hey, you broke your tail light, you have no brake light, you have no tail light. Right? it was ridiculous how much people was driving around this country without taillights. Another thing that another experience that
So you say it was 6.
Pardon me?
You say it was 6 people.
More than half a dozen people. More than. I checked a lot of people.
So 7 then. So 7. So 7.
Right? And another thing that I noticed, gentlemen, I went to Carenage yesterday. You know, I don't know if you all ever, when you go to Carenage, as you pass Hake Street, Lance Twitter, there's an awesome view when you reach there and you look to your left, you just see water, you just see ocean. It's always a breathtaking view for me. From a child growing up, it was always a fantastic surprise. Like what you land and just so there's water. I was surprised when I went there this weekend. And when you go Carenage now, where you expect to get a view, all you're seeing now is 8 foot of bush. All these views, all these scenic views, so when you're going down Carenage, is blocked off now by 8 and 10 foot of grass. And I'm surprised that the people of the West not saying anything about that. We have to get this CPAP thing back up and running, people, so we can get this country in some semblance of it. You drive through Caroni, you're just feeling like you're driving through a jungle. Certain areas you're driving through, the grass is encroaching on the road, and I'm surprised we're not hearing people talking more about this.
Okay.
Right, I wanted to mention those 2 things here as we start off the new year to get them things fixed. One of them is our responsibility, and the other is up to the state to fix.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Okay. Thanks very much.
But just you know, talking about a simple thing, because you know, I've always been a big proponent of, if you're leaving the airport, what do you see as if you're a foreigner for the first time in Trinidad and Tobago? Mm-hmm. And if you're driving on the highway, all of those medians is bushy. It's plenty grass and stuff growing on the medians, even in between the concrete, because it's a concrete barrier. As you turn off from Golden Grove onto the Churchill Roosevelt, if you look at it carefully, it's all overgrown in grass, you know.
Yeah.
On right in the middle section, separating the westbound from the eastbound, no attention is being paid at all. And I'm always like, what are visitors' first impression of Trinidad and Tobago? Because when you arrive for the first time in a country, you are like a sponge. Eh? You kind of look around and you're absorbing the sights of the country. And so I know, you know, some countries pay particular attention to what you see. Well, obviously, we are not one of those. I remember the other time years ago when they used to have a bus stop, and somebody used to be living in the bus stop. And I raised it back then. That was years ago with Penelope Beckles, because it was under ministry. That comes under the Ministry of Transport, is it?
Was it public utility?
The PTSC bus.
Yes.
Yeah. And I brought it up, and eventually they removed the bus shed because it was ridiculous.
You talking about as you swing left coming on the highway?
Yes.
Yes.
There used to be a bus stop there, and a fellow used to be living in it.
Yes.
Yeah, but I have always had a real problem with them removing bus stops to get rid of homeless people. They did that right across here by Orange Grove, you know. They when they're coming down a little bit
because they don't know how to deal with the homeless person. That's the problem. But so remove the bus stop, which is counterintuitive, because the other citizens need a bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Richard, hold 1 minute, yeah? Caller, good morning to you. Mr. Grant. Mr. Grant?
Listen to the echo.
Yeah, Mr. Grant, like he fall asleep.
Hello.
Mr. Grant!
You know how long I've been on?
I know you've been holding on for a little while, so I was hoping they didn't fall asleep on us.
I'm sorry, I'm up since 5 o'clock as usual. Waiting for you.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Grant.
Yes. Anyhow, to begin, Happy New Year. All the best. All the best to everybody, and see all that again. Because the lot of people getting killed in this country, I'm dying. It ain't easy. But that speech made up for, on humility. How to be people know when to sit down and take stock of their life for this new year. Because if all the money you have in and all the wealth you have in and you have no help, you just have to go in that corner and say, I just watching the money according to somebody else spending it for. You have to be careful. We have to be more humility in my life here, brother.
Yeah.
I have known that this thing will happen with Venezuela, right? Because my daughter called me and told me that in 2019, she says that if something was happening, it's with the SPN5 was to come out, that man going to do something in Nicaragua and Venezuela to take up the seat of it. I can't understand why man could come into somebody else's country and put them out and you have all kind of things with Putin and the landscape. I can't understand what's really going on. Like as I always say, people lost the value. They just want position. Just to say, yes, I was this, I was that. Anyhow, all the best, and I'll be watching on the audio.
Okay, no problem. Thanks very much, Mr. Grant. Mr. Grant, I feel when you call us, you have to listen on your phone. I know that because the TV and the radio or on whatever you listen on your phone will be about 20 seconds behind the time. So you have to keep the phone by your ear, okay? Mr. Billy, good morning.
Oh, yes, welcome back. Good morning to the Breakfast Show, and welcome back, Richard and Mr. Stephen, Wendell. 3 points. One, I want to say condolences to the Hart family. Mr. Eddie Hartwell. I remember the days of the PSA. He used to come up and watch football, and we had conversation, and then play mass on a Monday with All Stars, and he always in the band and things. Last conversation I had with him at Boggy Hills, where he told me that he wrote a book. I wasn't aware of that, and that was such a nice achievement for him. So condolences to him. The next thing is that my heart goes out to the people of Venezuela. I wouldn't like to be in Venezuela now as a citizen or a resident living there. It could be very traumatic, and the experience of what went on over the weekend. So my heart goes out to them, right? And the next thing is, yesterday the UNC party I support them. Openly everybody know that. And something was done that I did not like, and I will try my best to tell everybody who I know, who I close to our ear, I did not like it. I think that if you're having a press conference, something of national and with the international, so everybody was known about, and to have it at your headquarters, I think that was inappropriate, and I think that they need to look at that. You sound the wrong message by having that at your headquarters, which is the UNC headquarters. It's like a part business.
Mr. Billy,
thanks for bringing that up. Thanks for bringing back up because it was inappropriate.
And with the UNC flag at the right-hand side, at the back of you too.
Yes. So I don't want
crazy.
That. Supporting that at all. Keep that at the diplomatic center or maybe at the Red House, whatever place. I think in the Red House for those kind of conferences. But it must not be kept at the headquarters. Because if the other government was the PNM there and they did it, kept it at Ballyvale, it would have been uproar. I am saying, as a supporter of the UNC, I do not like it. And I will let people like Honorable John know that. Text it and tell her that is wrong. Not supporting those kind of things, it will sound wrong. Thank you, guys. For government.
So Billy, you see why I like you as a UNC supporter and respect you? Yeah. Because you said it as it is. It was most inappropriate to have the very conference wasn't so much as bad as the fact that the UNC flag was to the right-hand side of them also too. A complete breach of protocol. You understand? But you can't do that if you're addressing the nation from a government perspective. You shouldn't be doing that. Yeah.
It's things like that makes me wonder sometimes whether this government is paying attention sometimes to the details, because anytime you're speaking to an international audience, or even if you're speaking to us, and what the ground rules are, you should know that if you're holding a conference and a press conference after a neighboring country has gone through an attack and removal of its leader, which is something that does not happen in our area often, and we were in the mix, so to speak. Nobody less than the Prime Minister should have held that press conference, quite frankly.
Correct.
That's just appropriate. So sometimes I wonder, is the UNC being intentional or are they just incompetent? I don't know. Are they being intentional? They have some plan or reason why they do things, or is it just incompetence that they just don't know? And I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, because those are glaring issues that you should know better.
Yeah, and you know what was really hard in listening to it also, because that question was asked by one of the reporters. I think Akash asked that question.
Yes.
And it was, like, this is a central location. I just can understand that part. I can understand that part of it at all.
No, the issue of holding it, you cannot hold a press conference on a national issue as the sitting government in a partisan building.
Yeah.
Any primary school child would know that. So come on, do better and stop making excuses for nonsense.
Yeah.
And especially if you don't have the area of itself set up in a nationalistic kind of way.
That's what I'm saying. And anybody knows protocol is that the country's flag must be to the right, always. That's standard.
Yeah.
You have the UNC flag on your right side, and then the national flag on your left. It was crazy. I mean, and I don't know that anyway. Our poll is up, people. Should the Prime Minister address the nation on the situation in Venezuela and how it may affect Trinidad and Tobago? Yes or no? Our poll will run throughout our newscast, of course. And when we come back, we will take the results. All right?
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Gael Caribbean TV for Monday, the 5th of January, 2026. I am Derek McMillan. Good day, everybody. In our lead story, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has confirmed that Trinidad and Tobago is not involved in the United States military operations in Venezuela, which led to the capture of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife Cilia Flores. In a statement, she said Trinidad and Tobago remains peaceful and maintains friendly relations with the Venezuelan people. She added that the government looks forward to renewed cooperation as Venezuela transitions toward democracy. Caracas had recently accused Port of Spain of assisting U.S. operations, claims which triggered the suspension of joint gas agreements. Persad-Bissessar rejected that link, saying U.S. aircraft transits through TNT are logistical, and a radar system in Tobago is used only to combat smuggling and transnational crime. She said TNT will continue monitoring developments while supporting diplomatic solutions. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service says there is no need for public alarm following the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro by U.S. forces, but confirms it has activated strategic security measures. In a statement, the TTPS said it is closely monitoring the regional situation and has increased its security posture to protect national safety and stability. While details of the operations were not disclosed, metal barriers were seen cordoning off streets near the police administration building in Port of Spain. Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara said the TTPS will continue reviewing the situation and urged citizens to remain calm, rely on official information, and report suspicious activity, reminding the public that when a neighbor's house is on fire, it is wise to wet your own. The TTPS stressed that the measures are precautionary and meant to ensure readiness and public confidence. Opposition leader Penelope Beckles says the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro by U.S. forces is a serious cause for concern, warning against any actions that could destabilize the region. Beckles said the opposition is particularly concerned for Trinidad and Tobago's embassy staff and nationals in Venezuela, and is praying for calm and safety as the situation unfolds. She also reaffirmed the PNM's long-held position of non-interference and respect for sovereignty, and called for restraint and adherence to international law across the region. Meanwhile, Foreign Affairs Minister Sean Sobers confirmed that all Trinidad and Tobago staff at the Caracas embassy are safe and in constant contact with the ministry. CARICOM leaders also met urgently on Saturday, describing the situation as one of grave concern for the Caribbean, while Venezuela and Cuba both strongly condemned the U.S. strikes. Former PNM MP for Tunapuna, Edward Eddie Hart, has died. In a statement today, the People's National Movement said it was deeply saddened by his passing, remembering him as a dedicated public servant and a champion for youth and community development. Hart served as Tunapuna MP for about 16 years across 4 Republican parliaments and held several government posts in ministries including health, sport and youth affairs, and community development. Beyond politics, he was well known for his lifelong community work, including founding the Eddie Hart Football League, which guided young people for more than 4 decades. For his service, Hart received the PNM's Dr. Eric Williams Medal of Honor in 2019 and an honorary Doctor of Letters from the University of Trinidad and Tobago in 2020. PNM General Secretary Foster Cummings and former Prime Minister Stuart Young have extended condolences to his family, describing Hart as a patriot whose legacy will live on. Some Venezuelans living in Trinidad and Tobago are celebrating, while others are condemning the reported removal of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro by the United States military early on January 3rd. U.S. President Donald Trump confirmed what he called a large-scale strike, saying Maduro and his wife were captured and flown to the U.S. to face criminal charges. Trump also said the U.S. would temporarily run Venezuela and open up its oil sector to American companies. Venezuelans in TT told Newsday the development brings hope, but also fear for relatives back home, where the situation remains tense and uncertain. Human rights activist Yesenia Gonzalez said many Venezuelans see this as the first real chance for democratic change, but Maduro supporters warn the intervention violates international law and could trigger civil unrest. There have also been reports of casualties during the U.S. operation, while calls continue in Venezuela for clarity on Maduro's fate and the country's next steps. Finally, internationally, world leaders have reacted with a mix of condemnation and support after U.S. forces captured Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro, and his wife during a strike on the country. Maduro has been indicted on drug trafficking charges in New York, and U.S. President Donald Trump says the U.S. will temporarily run Venezuela until what he calls a safe and judicious transition takes place. China, Russia, Iran, and several Latin American nations sharply criticized the operation as a violation of international law. Brazil's President Lula said the action crossed an unacceptable line, while Colombia and Chile also condemned the strikes. The UN Secretary General said he was deeply concerned and warned the move sets a dangerous precedent. But some Western leaders, including UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, said they would shed no tears over the end of Maduro's rule. While Argentina's President Javier Milei praised the operation, Maduro's interior minister has urged Venezuelans to remain calm as the international response continues to unfold. And that's news at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Morning vibes, fresh energy. This is the Net Radio Breakfast Show.
Come and take me, play tassa trumpet for me, and make my wheels go round.
Girl, I'm the tassa man, ready to play me hand and make that waistline roll. Dance to the beat.
Hey, shit time.
Yeah, right, man.
Tassa man. I'm looking for a tassa.
I am the tassa man.
I'm looking for a tassa.
I say I am the tassa man.
Come and take me, play tassa trumpet for me, and make my wheels go roll.
Well, I'm the tassa man, ready to play me hand and make that waistline roll. Just wine to the tassa, shake it when I roll up the tassa. Wine and go down to the tassa, make your waist just wine to the tassa. I want you lick up the tassa, rip up and bust up the tassa. Chain girl, come rock up the bumper, roll your waist and dance to the tassa.
I like to dance a tassa, I like to roll my bumper, I like to jump it around, shake it to the ground and give them pressure. I like to dance a tassa, I like to roll my bumper, jump it around, shake it to the ground and give them pressure.
Mornings just got better. You're locked into Net Radio Breakfast Show. Fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
I like to roll my bumper, I like to jump it around, shake it to the ground and give them pressure. I like to dance a tassa.
Yeah. You gotta get familiar with everything that will be happening with you right about now, you know.
Give them pressure.
Get your partners, get your crews, organize your teams, and get ready for Carnival 2K26. Let's looking at what? 4 and 2 is 6 weeks. Yeah, so you're just looking at about 6 weeks. Trust me, plenty thing already roll out before the Christmas, and plenty thing going to roll out from here on in. JDL and Raymond in between there. The Tassa man, alright? So, good morning to you once again. If you're just joining us, thank you very much for being here on The Breakfast Show. It's coming to you courtesy of New Era TT Radio. And of course, I want to say good morning to the folks on Gael Caribbean TV. As you welcome back the Gael family for 2026, alright? And just to let you know, programming note that when we come off of the Gael feed after 8 o'clock, somewhere around 8:30, guess what? You can listen to us all day and every day at newerattradio.com, New Era TT Radio, on TuneIn, so you get us on your Google and Alexa devices.
I like to jump it around, shake it to the ground and give them pressure. I like to dance a tassa.
And also, don't forget to like and subscribe when you go to our pages. We need you to do that sort of thing. And we also need you to hit that donate, subscribe, support button. It's very, very important that you support us, right? So the poll question for you today: should the Prime Minister address the nation on the situation in Venezuela? Most importantly, how it may affect Trinidad and Tobago. So you remember you're answering yes or no.
I like to jump it around, shake it to the ground and give them pressure. I like to dance a tassa.
And then you can put in your comments, okay?
I like to jump it around, shake it to the ground and give them pressure. I like
Don't go anywhere. We will be back shortly.
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Looking for pet supplies that wouldn't bite? Visit Bow Wow Supply Limited, your friendly family-owned pet store at the corner of Cane Farm Avenue and 5th Street West, Cane Farm, Trin City.
We offer fabulous prices,
great service, and a wide range of foods, treats, toys, grooming products, and accessories. Everything your pet needs in one place. We are open Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sundays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Coming today, Bow Wow Supply Limited, Cane Farm Avenue and 5th Street West, Cane Farm, Trin City. Your pet's friendly place. Call us at 640-7184.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Welcome back, The Breakfast Show. Happy 2026, everybody.
Yeah, man. Welcome back to Bended Spoons US Incorporated. I saw this thing come up on my screen. I said, what is that? So StreamYard is now called Bending Spoons. What a strange name, eh?
Yeah, alignment, boy, alignment.
Bending Spoons. So that's what we are streaming live on now on YouTube. Bending Spoons. All right? That's the name of the incorporated. Right? Richard, are you there? Yaki duck out again. Anyway,
Yeah,
we
well,
have Sir Charles. That tune you just played us now there. Is that a Marshall?
If it's a what?
Is that a Marshall?
It's sung like Marshall, but it's actual Raymond Ramnarayan.
Eh?
Yes. He and Jada.
All right. He sounded very much like Marshall Montana.
Yeah, he's very, very close to the presentation that Marshall normally does. It's a nice song. I like it.
Yeah, no, I thought you were hearing me. I didn't realize my mic was still muted.
No, we know here.
Yeah, we were saying we were saying it during the news, so we had to mute you.
Yeah, no, but I was muted during the news car chat.
No, the mic comes on sometimes. I noticed that about me, my own.
Yeah, there was a time it did come through.
Yeah,
it
comes
so
on.
I had a
The
horribly
mic comes on and you don't know. It's on and then it goes back off.
Okay, well, I'll make it a point to turn it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I didn't know the name change, but I wanted to mention condolences to the Achong family, because Akim Achong, which is like Aiden's aunt, better known as Tamti.
Mm-hmm.
She died yesterday. Okay. She's well known in Arima. Well known. This is Rev Jari. I think she's actually the sister of Raymond Chukong's mom.
All right.
So she was like 89 or 90, somewhere around there. And so she died yesterday. She was ailing. And she passed yesterday. So I just want to say condolences to the family. I know there are a lot of people affected by that death. And of course, condolences to all,
All right. Condolences to the Achong family. Achong, is it?
Yeah.
All right. All right. When you guys ready for the poll? Our poll, of course, is still up. Should the Prime Minister address the nation on the situation in Venezuela and how it may affect Trinidad and Tobago? That's our poll today. When you all are ready, please let me know who's writing. You're Richard or Sir Charles?
Obviously, I can't write.
You know what you're doing? You just park up by
Yeah,
the bus.
yeah. You obviously I can't write.
And you park up by the bus shed and Piago.
Yeah. Trying to engage your PNM brain.
When you're ready, you go ahead.
Right. Rena Jennings says yes. Apollinaris, yes. Ava Smith, yes. Joyce Phillip, yes. Suzanne Jessup, yes. Michael Oliver, no. Felix Kazoo, yes. Who else? Valerie Mendoza, yes. Boy Bidesi, yes. KM, yes. David McCarthy, yes. Avion Abraham, yes. Marlon Motley, yes. Deborah Noel Surratt, yes. Margaret Thomas, yes. Michael Cadet, yes. Estelita didn't vote. Alistair Hart, yes. Edwin Joseph, yes. CJ from New York, yes. Kathian Townsend, yes. Only one new. Anon says yes. Kenny in Harlem, yes. Jennifer says yes. Scorpion Pepper didn't vote. Stephen Harper, yes. Stephen, you didn't even tell me you rejoined you there. Scorpion Pepper, yes. Ingrid from Tucson, yes. Brent Hackshaw didn't vote. Carla Hercules says no, stay out of it. Slick Money Grip says no. Okay. Where are the other votes? Cheryl Henry says yes. Miguel Gonzalez, yes. Carl Guevara, yes. Ron DeSantis Jr., yes. Nicola McNichols, yes. Sherma Paul, yes. Carlisle Cupid, yes. Andre Reno says yes. Finbar Collins, yes. Oh, Lord. Staubin says yes. Anthony Atwell, yes. Rhea Sampson says yes. Brennan Smith says yes. Brent Hackshaw says yes. Trini Merle Kitchen says yes. Victor Tongs, yes. And Wayne Joseph, yes. Those are the votes.
All right. Whew. There are a lot of people there. All right, so let me tell you what's going on the WhatsApp. Let me go all the way back down to, right, Judith in Tobago says yes. Ken Rennie didn't vote. Freya says yes. Raymond says yes. Archbishop Ashton Clark says yes. Mr. Bailey says yes. Peter says yes. Brenda in Pinal, yes. Captain Ron says yes. Pauline says no. Zena says yes. Sankofa says no. And Miss Thompson says yes.
All right. I just have two more. Rena Roberts, yes. And Florence Bazi, yes. That's it.
Okay.
Right, you got them?
Yeah. I got that. So we had 55 people on the poll this morning. And 50 of you said yes, and 5 said no. It was very easy content today. I love that. I love that kind of content. So, all right, 55 people.
I don't know I don't know what is the so the majority of the people have said that yes, she should hold a press conference, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying, Sir Charles?
Yes.
The majority of people, yes.
5 said no.
Yeah, said she should.
The majority said yes, right. And I think most Trinidadians and Tobagonians would be of that belief. I don't know what it is with this Prime Minister's aversion to keeping that kind of, or thinking that she did not have to hold a press conference on that issue. the one Caribbean leader who rose to that task certainly was Mia Motley, because I watched the Mia Motley press conference. She addressed several things, but the major thing that she was addressing was what the impact was having with regard to Barbados in these uncharted territory kind of events that were taking place in Venezuela. How Barbados was going to be impacted in terms of US flights not being allowed to be landed. You also had the issue of flights. This is where they went. You had the issue of flights of people going back to Venezuela who were now stranded, and that the government had to accommodate in some way, because when people are heading back home, you don't know how much resources, financial resources, they still have left because you're heading home.
Yes.
And so they had two flights going. They had a flight going back to Venezuela where the people could not leave. So they had to make arrangements to accommodate those people. In addition to which, they were also discussing the issues of nationals that were stranded in North America because they couldn't leave, and seeing how they could assist from their consulates and stuff there in terms of if any of those people needed assistance, because of the same thing, you don't know if people have money left to even go to a hotel or not, or whether the airlines were going to supply that kind of accommodation. You weren't sure.
Yes.
So all of those things were discussed in that press conference, which are real life practical things. And so I wasn't sure why the UNC government, and I have to call it the UNC government because that's what they are, of course, but why the Prime Minister felt that she didn't have to hold a press conference to address practical issues, even the issue of the safety of our staff in Venezuela, in terms of the consulate in Venezuela, which Mia Motley also addressed. And I'm saying that's what leadership looks like.
But it's what
and it's not that Kamala Persad is incapable of doing that.
Right, that's true.
But why would you make the choice not to?
And then send
I find it all bewildering. It's bewildering to me.
And then you send Sean Sobers, the minister of housing, and the other guy is from some one of the state agencies. What is that about? Where's the Minister of Homeland Security? Where's the Minister of Defense? Where, I don't understand. And then poor Sean, I don't know what's going on with him. He just he can't handle the media. His arrogant level is at an all-time high now. You know what I mean? It's just that he. And then, of course, you know how Akash and them could get under his skin. Some members of the media could get under his skin. But you can't allow them to. You know what I mean? And if you don't have an answer, say, I'm sorry, I cannot answer that. Don't. Oh. It's too much trouble. It's too much stress now. Everything is stress now in this place.
Yeah.
You understand?
And even though that, that they were saying that, all right, they have high level meetings right now taking place. Of course, we understand, okay, meetings will be taking place, but meetings not going 24 hours, and you're not in meetings anymore. So you have to come out and address the nation. You have to talk to people.
And the fact of the matter is that the evidence was seen in Port of Spain in particular, where streets were blocked off. What for? If we are not part of what happened in Venezuela or anything of a sort, what is the intelligence that would have led you to block off half of the streets in Port of Spain? You understand? The citizens must be concerned. But maybe I'm not. Maybe that's why. I couldn't care 2 hoots. But still, there are people who are concerned. So I don't know that would have happened under any other. And somebody actually said it. They said all previous prime ministers, including Mrs. Prasad Bisesa herself, would have addressed this as before. You don't know what's going on with this particular governance and government in terms of their decisions, the decisions that they've taken. You understand?
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is that even if but remember the Miss Bissessa is one also. For a long time, the media has not been able, even coming in to be when they were in opposition, they were not able to get on to her.
Yeah.
She was never really accessible to the media, you know.
Yeah, but you're prime minister now. You have a resounding mandate now.
That's the job.
Yeah. And now they're in a totally different role, you know.
Yeah. You know, you can't leave your country like that, you know. I mean,
and trust me, there's a lot of uncertainty that people really want to find out certain things, eh? Even if you don't have the answer, at least you can at least give them some measure of comfort.
And Sean Sobers does not have the skill, and let me say he does not have the skill as yet to understand how to navigate media in Trinidad and Tobago with the kind of charm and effective communication skills you need to navigate them.
Correct.
He doesn't have that skill.
No.
Maybe he will acquire it in time, but at this point he doesn't because he's too inexperienced. So he will default sometimes to come across sounding a little bit arrogant or condescending. And it's purely because he's not equipped. That's why you have people that are trained to do that in bigger countries. And that's what they do. They know how to navigate press, and they will be the spokesperson. People go to school for that.
Yeah.
To understand it. So you can't send one of your most inexperienced ministers, because he's the Minister of Foreign Affairs, to navigate that by himself. And I mean, okay, they sent Mr. Lee, but he was there, but Sean Sobers is the one who dealt a lot with the interfacing with the press at the point in time. To me, you needed somebody like Jolene John. If you don't come in, send Jolene.
Yeah.
And because isn't she a deputy political leader?
Yes, she is.
I think she's one of them. Yeah.
But Wayne Surge supposed to be able to handle interviews of that nature, Richard. Wayne Surge is well versed in speaking and so on as an attorney.
No, Wendell. Being an advocate attorney and stuff does not mean that you have communication skills to navigate press and to come across in a particular way with the media. There is a way to handle media. There is a way to be charming with media too. Because you don't want media to be an enemy. Yeah? Plenty politicians just go down the road, or do they like media? This one, that one, that one. Well, you know, President Trump does it a lot. But that's a no-win battle. So you have to be able to navigate that relationship with media in a particular way. It's very nuanced, and you have to be able to have the skill to get across your message, and also be able to answer whatever tough questions they throw at you in a particular way.
Isn't that protocol officers who are supposed to recognize these things and help these persons with these things also?
Well, they're protocol officers. I don't think that's their mandate. Protocol officers advise, but they are not equipped to train you. They are there to advise you.
Yeah.
And some ministers, you have never been in the public service, Sir Charles.
No.
Some ministers don't take you on here.
Well, we know that for a fact.
They don't take on what the person who has the experience has to say to you. Some do.
Yeah. All right. Well, Richard, already because we have our guest coming in here. So hold on 1 minute.
All right. Yeah, bring him in, man. Yeah. All right. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Knight. That sounds kind of weird. It's correct. We are correct. Good morning, Mr. Knight.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to you and your panel, and good morning to the nation. Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago, our commuters, our drivers, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Good morning.
Morning. Well, I know a lot has changed since the issue of the priority bus route and what's happening with the maxi taxis and so on. But give us an update as to what's going on as of this morning. Were maxi taxi fares increased?
No, definitely, and we made a comprehensive statement via media release officially from the Route to Maxi Taxi Association with our letter through our PRO office that increases was not the first option for us because the economical climate is still unraveling.
Okay, all right. So as it stands now, exactly what is the position of the Maxi Taxi Association?
Well, our position is that we still do not see any need for the toll. We have an issue with that because the issue at hand right now is presently is that we have about 1,000 members already paid for 2026, but it have a situation where we have about 150 of our members or so, or maybe a little less, will fall into late renewal. And that's a normal scenario that has happened from time to time when it have renewal, because for some reason, sometimes they may not need the time in terms of maybe they would have been out of the country, maybe they will be seeing about some repairs at the vehicle, or for some other reason, they may fall ill, as the case may be. And so those people, about 150 of them or so or less, will have to be renewed, or they will be coming up for late renewal sometime this year, probably the middle of this month or early next month. And I think the ministry position, it's left for them to make clarification on that, is that they will have to pay the additional toll, which will be 1,200. Our position in terms of the association, we see that is being discriminated in the sense that you have over 1,000 people paid the old fee, and that old fee doesn't really come into effect until January 1st and only affect the 1,000 people maybe about till 2027. So we don't see an issue with it in the sense that why you want to hold steadfast to this January 1st for these other people, because it don't really cost the ministry nothing right now to reproduce that pass. The pass that we carry from since 2025 has 2025 and 2026 on it. So it's a 2025, 2026 pass, and all that has to happen is the ministry has to put on an inch by inch sticker on it on 2026. That shouldn't cost you $1,200, even with whatever administrative costs you may say you want to incur. And the other factor is that we do the work that the government is mandated to do to provide public transportation, and we don't get no subsidies.
But so you're saying that the pass you have currently covers 2026, but surely you must know that this is a revenue earning issue and not just about an additional sticker on your bus route pass.
We know that revenue generation. I'm saying at the end of the day, if I produce figures, which I have documents to produce figures in terms of the amount of money that is being pumped in PTSC, and I'm not chastising PTSC because all government all over the world mandate is to provide efficient public transportation, efficient public transportation system. And I can tell you the money there is in the range of billions. And we in the Maxi Taxi fraternity carry about 90% of the population. And if you really add up Maxi and taxis, we carry the bulk of the people. The government does not carry out the mandate that they are mandated to do. And we don't get subsidized. We have been asking for the longest while to get the removal of the motor vehicle and VAT tax to cushion us in terms of the amount of money we have to pay for the vehicle. And the vehicle has gone up tremendously. We have asked for other things because we this Route to Maxi Taxi Association is also a member of the RTA as a regional body. So we know some of our counterparts in Barbados and in St. Vincent. Their government treat with them in a manner where they understand the importance of the service that they provide. Them have designated fuel stations that them could go to and pay for the fuel at a subsidized price. They don't pay taxes on tires and so forth because they know that the work that they provide, we at Route 2 and the Maxi Taxi fraternity is privately owned. We are not government owned. We are privately owned and operate efficiently and reliable.
All right.
Wow. So what all that is happening and stuff, what is the next step, or is it just a wait and see situation?
Well, we are in observation mode most definitely because we are watching the economical climate unrolling. Remember, there are penalties imposed at customs. That will obviously interfere with our operational costs. We also have the doubling of the ticket systems in terms of fixed penalties. Again, we hear the ministry or the government and the minister making statements that it does not affect law-abiding citizens. We have an issue with that because law-abiding citizens could get a cracked windscreen at any point in time, could get a blue bulb at any point in time, and could have a smooth tire pop up because your alignment goes because of the bad road conditions. We make recommendations to the last administration when they had the U-turn systems that if we thinking first world countries status and first world country mentality and implementation, there's a thing called fix-it ticket corrective violation. That when you get a ticket for a blue bulb or a cracked windscreen or even a smooth tire, or even in some cases where you forget your driver's permit home on that particular day, which just happens to us as human beings, you get a citation that gives you a stipulated amount of time to make that corrective issue corrected and present yourself to any license office or any police station with the corrective measure that you corrected. And then nullify the ticket, they will charge you probably a little administrative cost. And at the end of the day, you improve on your circumstance. What that does, you still have the deterrent, which is the penalty if you don't fall in line in the stipulated time. It also have law enforcement, so the law enforcement part is still there. But what you add to it now is a compliance layer that the individual now, instead of he has to pay $1,000 for a blue bulb, he will go and purchase his bulb for about $50 and correct his situation. If he has a cracked windscreen, and he will be able to purchase his windscreen. And in some cases, sometimes when you go to purchase the windscreen, you don't have the windscreen in the country, you have to order it. What you want that individual to do, park up his vehicle. If that is his means of income, park it up. If that is his means to transport his children to school, but leave them home and let them walk. I'm trying to understand the government.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with all those points that you would have raised, because those are things that can happen on the move suddenly. You know, what do you do? I predict that there will be a lot of challenges to a lot of these tickets, and the courts are the ones who are going to get backlogged with all of these issues now, because it doesn't stop you from driving your vehicle if you challenge a ticket, you know.
Right, and you're correct in that, and we have seen in the under the U-turn system, the court, it was touted that it will free up the court, and contrary to that, that is something that did not happen. As a matter of fact, it happened in reverse. The court was flooded. I know I have members who challenge ticket and they get court date at 2030 and all kind of thing, 2031. And I am expecting that that's going to happen. Even under the last administration, we told them, hey, look at Texas. Look what happened in Texas, right? Texas did have the U-turn system, did have point systems, and they come and end up repealing that because it was causing a serious problem with the professional drivers. And not only the drivers in terms of who doing it professionally, we're talking about the normal average person who drives on the road. And they had a situation where they had to come and reinstate a lot of people's license after they repeal it. And we tell them, look at that. And I'm seeing Trinidad and Tobago heading down that same scenario there because of the government not having proper concentration when they roll out these things.
Yeah. But it seems from an article that I read over the last few days that the Prime Minister said that she may be reconsidering these hefty fines if we change our attitudes on the road. How do you respond to that?
Again, yes, I know it has some people. I'm not going to put my head in the sand. We even have some maxi drivers who are rogue. They function in a certain manner, and you need this level of deterrent there. But I'm saying, even with what we just mentioned with those certain points, had you had consultation with the general public and the maxi taxi fraternity, it would have been more palatable for the citizens, and you would have had citizens who really genuinely trying to obey the law and make the roads safer, will not have situations where they have to have challenging the tickets and flood the courts. Back when I tell I have members already, or my comrades are in the green band. he got a ticket already for a cracked windscreen, and it happened maybe less than 15 minutes before the officer came and met him on the stand with the cracked windscreen. It literally just happened, and that is unfair. You know, and again, it have systems out there that if we have consultations, you will get the ideas from the maxi taxi fraternity, from the public for free. You won't have to pay a consultant millions of dollars to come up with these ideas and to give you these suggestions. And it is working, it's workable, and it's practicable.
Yeah, and the point you made just now, Mr. Knight, in that, all right, let's say you get a ticket for a cracked windscreen today, right? Which happens because a lot of I have had a cracked windscreen from guys walking on the side of the road already. But of course, you're not going to get that windscreen replaced right away. Whilst driving with it, what happens then if another police officer decides to stop you and give you another ticket? What happens with that? It could cause a big trouble.
You got another ticket? You got another ticket? You could get another ticket for the same offense. The ticket system doesn't have a stipulated time. As I say, the corrective violation scenario would have been the ideal thing to come into play, that you might have got 30 days to repair that windscreen. And within that 30 days, you would have sought your best to try and get repaired. After the 30 days has passed, then you will have no really reasonable excuse, or probably may be able to apply to the courts for a little more leniency and show proof why you have to get your leniency. But at least you will have 30 days to sort out your scenario. And then if the officer stopped you within that 30 days, say, officer, I already got a citation for this and I have 30 days to repair it or to make the corrective measures put in place. And he will deal with it accordingly. After the 30 days, if you're negligent, well, then the fine will come into play.
Right. Yeah. Sounds reasonable.
Mr. Knight, I don't know if you want to address it because I just kind of stepped away to get something organized here, Father. But as far as the user fee for the bus route and the city gate, what has been happening where that is concerned, and if that goes into play, well, the way that it looks like it's already in motion, how are you and the Maxi Taxi Association and the drivers, how are you all going to absorb or pass on this additional cost?
Well, as I explained earlier when we announced that interview, about 1,000 of our members already paid for 2026. So it doesn't really affect the general population of the Maxi Taxi fraternity in terms of red band. But we have a situation, we have about 150 members who will fall into late renewal. And we have the opinion that will be discriminating against them to have to come and pay now that their comrades paid for the same commodity, which the pass doesn't have. It doesn't cost the ministry anything to reproduce the pass at this point in time, because that pass already existed since 2025. And all the ministry has to put on now is a inch by inch sticker on 2026. So there's no real serious administrative cost coming into play. So it is unfair to our members who fall in the late renewal to have to be discriminated against. And I am the opinion that the government has championed many causes in the past of discrimination. Ms. Kamala Prasad, she personally has championed many causes where she, her mantra was she's been discriminated against, and her party has been discriminated against, and they're going to stand up against discrimination. And I'm seeing that in this scenario here, it's supposed to be equality across the board where this matter is concerned. In terms of any cost passed on, we at this point in time, as I said in the opening, we are watching at the economical situation still unraveling, and we have other factors coming into play with the customs, and we have other factors playing into play that we are, as citizens, that we are faced with the supermarket, we are faced with the pharmaceutical situation, we have the cost of the vehicle going up, because that will, custom will affect that. And also we have the situation externally, the external pressures are what is taking place with our neighbors next door.
Yeah. What is the public saying to you all at this point in time? Because I mean, I suppose you all are also picking up feedback from the general public. So what are they saying?
Well, we see a lot of misinformation went on social media where people was up in a row in terms of saying that, oh, why we raising and we shouldn't raise at this point in time because things hard. And what we saw, in my humble opinion and my respectful view, was I don't want to target the government, but probably they capitalize on the opportunity to use us as a distraction for all the things that were implementing without consultation. At that point in time, people were now coming up for the Christmas festivities, and they come and implement these things without consultation. The public was up in a row, and they probably use it and milk it for what it's worth in terms of us being a distraction, in terms of our raise affair, where we did not make our official statement to the general public, and social media had a total frenzy with it. And we tried our best to put out something officially and do the damage control, but again, as I say, the government even made statements about the saying that don't see no justification for us raising the fear at this point in time. And as I say, all of that, when you look at it from a holistic point of view, it was a way of having a distraction against what is the fundamental issues that is being unraveled here with the economy and the citizenry.
Mr. Knight, I know that the last time we spoke, it was right following the incident with the robbery on the PBR. Have you had any such incidents again since?
Yeah, we had a couple of incidents after that, and but in all fairness, we have had a new superintendent in the transit unit, and we have created some security measures, and the response from him thus far is favorable. But I want to clear up something where so Charles did ask about the users fee in Citygate. There was a court matter that prohibited PTSC from charging a users fee, but the association over a year now have been collecting a user fee from the membership voluntarily. In what we do it manually, and all of that is holistically what we're speaking about, having management at Citygate. We have done a lot of improvement for the past year with that collection of that little money from our members, and the members buying to the idea that we cannot sit down and wait for the government to do anything for us to do what we require here in Citygate. So we have implemented a 24-hour service, 24-hour toilet service, access to the toilet 24 hours, which after 28 years being here, we did not have access to toilet facilities 24 hours. We did that for ourselves through our membership, paying that contribution. We have air conditioned the canteen downstairs for our membership to help with the exhaust fumes that they have to sit down and eat in. We put in cables for them so that any national issues popping up, they could see it in real time. We have also put in microwaves so they could hot the food. We have also put in extractor fans in the toilet, and we have painted our overall building, and the list goes on. And we really want the management at Citygate to be resolved, which is an issue that is there for over more than 1 decade, almost 2 decades, more than 2 decades.
Yes. Mr. Knight, one of the things, I know we are about to close off the interview, one of the things I would like to see maxi taxis do, I don't know how your association could impress upon them, to stop coming to a stop to pick up people on crosswalks or before crosswalk. They must stop after the crosswalk so that people can cross behind them, because a lot of accidents and people who are getting knocked down on the PBR is largely because of the maxis stopping indiscriminately at some of those stops. I don't know if I'm sure that you have heard this before. This is not the first time you're hearing that. But that has been my observation for years on that PBR.
Yeah, I make no excuse for that. And there's no excuse for that. But my observation also, some of the crosswalks or the zebra crossings that they implement on the bus route, and I can tell you about, for instance, Jogi Road, that's his First Avenue, and also some of them coming down by Barrett area. The infrastructure there that is in place right now, it really was probably catered for a small maxi. And these bigger vehicles, they don't have enough infrastructure in terms of the roading for a maxi to pull aside properly before or pull aside properly after. So even before or after, they will have some level of violation of the zebra crossing in those 2 areas that are identified. But again, that is no excuse still for violating the zebra crossing in Cora, in Mova Junction, and 6th Avenue. There's no excuse at all whatsoever for violation of zebra crossing by Tunapuna Market, and we have made numerous calls to our members to adhere to that. It's just a sad culture that I think maybe what we need to go back to the drawing board is to really understand the purpose of a zebra crossing. The purpose of a zebra crossing also to educate the public is to cross. And sometimes we will have our public crossing and waiting right there for a maxi. And again, yes, the maxi man is in control of the vehicle and he needs to go a little way off or stop a little way before. But also the commuter needs to understand that after you cross, you and also will be mindful to move away from where you cross at that point in time of the zebra crossing so that you could go at a destination a little way up to board your maxi or whatever as the case may be.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
I would like to see you guys, as head of the association and forward thinking, that there are some things that you all probably should kind of self-regulate, because sometimes, the stopping right on the lights, I see it all by McCoy and stuff. A maxi will stop, and sometimes the light changes. The next driver have to wait, for him to clear that area. So I think if they look at that and presenting themselves as going forward and look at some of the shortcomings and just try and correct it, I think we can have a real number one maxi service in the country.
Yeah, and I agree with you, and I have no issues with those guys and them who do these things and the run fall of the law, let the law take its course. I also have some issues with some of the cultural practice in the country, and we in the maxi fraternity also partake in that kind of behavior, and the culture of where yellow means to speed up. I have a serious issue with that, and some of our serious accidents that end up critical happen because of that cultural mindset that yellow means to stop. I think we really need to have a serious defensive driving program island-wide to let people know that yellow means to stop. And it means to stop, in a way that only you could proceed if stopping is dangerous or is a hazard, and then you proceed with caution once the intersection is clear. But the yellow does not mean to speed up, and that is a practice I see across all hemisphere in terms of how we drive on the nation's road. I really like to see a serious pushback where that is concerned.
That's our culture. For a minute there, I thought you were going to say yellow is the code there, but that's a jump. But you're right. That is our culture. When you see yellow,
you represent red banner.
Speed up, Thank you for joining us, Mr. Knight. It has been an enlightening. We are happy to hear that there's no potential, no immediate intention to increase fares on the bus route. I'm sure a lot of people will be happy for that. Right?
But we still have a strong position with some of the issues that are affecting us. We are in consultation with our other members in terms of the green, the brown, the black, and even the blue, and definitely red band. We even have some serious networking with other professional drivers. And call the other people that we have networking with, and we have some serious issues in terms of what we see that implementation of those fixed penalties with the lack of concentration. Also the lack of concentration with us in implementing the toll, and our long outstanding issues with the scenario with Citygate management, a hub in Arima, and also the total dilapidated conditions of the Sandy Grande hub. We make no bones. We see ourselves that many years we are asking for these issues to resolve, and we asking for it to resolve in a manner that it wouldn't really cost the state no money. We're willing to take up the responsibilities of correcting these issues that we have here and mandate for ourselves. Some of the issues we have with the state in terms of the PBR pass and turn it into a license so that we could pass on the pass to our next of kin. All these long outstanding issues, and we are very, very frustrated to see that these things we will talk and we will talk and we will talk and we will talk and we'll see no significant movement in getting these things resolved. And we're reaching a point where at the end of the day, we're going to make some serious decisions where those things is concerned.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Knight, we want to thank you very much for being with us on the Breakfast Show on Net Radio, and we wish you all the best going forward in 2026. Hope that you can get some of those issues resolved.
We thank you for having us, and thank you for continuing to provide a voice to the voiceless and the influentials in making Trinidad and Tobago a better place for each and every one of us.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. All right, we go for 8 o'clock news, and when we come back, we close off, eh?
Yeah, but I think so. We at that point in time.
Yeah. Well, you might be able to squeeze in a couple calls.
Yeah, we come back and take some calls and stuff and thing. Richard ain't going in there, he's still here.
He there?
Yeah, he's just in the background, loading up all kind of thing. I see a video and everything coming up. So
right.
I think to talk about.
All right.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Gael Caribbean TV for Monday, the 5th of January, 2026. I am Derek McMillan. Good day, everybody. In our lead story, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has confirmed that Trinidad and Tobago is not involved in the United States military operations in Venezuela, which led to the capture of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife Cilia Flores. In a statement, she said Trinidad and Tobago remains peaceful and maintains friendly relations with the Venezuelan people. She added that the government looks forward to renewed cooperation as Venezuela transitions toward democracy. Caracas had recently accused Port of Spain of assisting U.S. operations, claims which triggered the suspension of joint gas agreements. Persad-Bissessar rejected that link, saying U.S. aircraft transits through TNT are logistical, and a radar system in Tobago is used only to combat smuggling and transnational crime. She said TNT will continue monitoring developments while supporting diplomatic solutions. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service says there is no need for public alarm following the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro by U.S. forces, but confirms it has activated strategic security measures. In a statement, the TTPS said it is closely monitoring the regional situation and has increased its security posture to protect national safety and stability. While details of the operations were not disclosed, metal barriers were seen cordoning off streets near the police administration building in Port of Spain. Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara said the TTPS will continue reviewing the situation and urged citizens to remain calm, rely on official information, and report suspicious activity, reminding the public that when a neighbor's house is on fire, it is wise to wet your own. The TTPS stressed that the measures are precautionary and meant to ensure readiness and public confidence. Opposition leader Penelope Beckles says the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro by U.S. forces is a serious cause for concern, warning against any actions that could destabilize the region. Beckles said the opposition is particularly concerned for Trinidad and Tobago's embassy staff and nationals in Venezuela, and is praying for calm and safety as the situation unfolds. She also reaffirmed the PNM's long-held position of non-interference and respect for sovereignty, and called for restraint and adherence to international law across the region. Meanwhile, Foreign Affairs Minister Sean Sobers confirmed that all Trinidad and Tobago staff at the Caracas embassy are safe and in constant contact with the ministry. CARICOM leaders also met urgently on Saturday, describing the situation as one of grave concern for the Caribbean, while Venezuela and Cuba both strongly condemned the U.S. strikes. Former PNM MP for Tunapuna, Edward Eddie Hart, has died. In a statement today, the People's National Movement said it was deeply saddened by his passing, remembering him as a dedicated public servant and a champion for youth and community development. Hart served as Tunapuna MP for about 16 years across 4 Republican parliaments, and held several government posts in ministries including health, sport and youth affairs, and community development. Beyond politics, he was well known for his lifelong community work, including founding the Eddie Hart Football League, which guided young people for more than 4 decades. For his service, Hart received the PNM's Dr. Eric Williams Medal of Honor in 2019 and an honorary Doctor of Letters from the University of Trinidad and Tobago in 2020. PNM General Secretary Foster Cummings and former Prime Minister Stuart Young have extended condolences to his family, describing Hart as a patriot whose legacy will live on. Some Venezuelans living in Trinidad and Tobago are celebrating, while others are condemning the reported removal of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro by the United States military early on January 3rd. U.S. President Donald Trump confirmed what he called a large-scale strike, saying Maduro and his wife were captured and flown to the U.S. to face criminal charges. Trump also said the U.S. would temporarily run Venezuela and open up its oil sector to American companies. Venezuelans in TT told Newsday the development brings hope, but also fear for relatives back home, where the situation remains tense and uncertain. Human rights activist Yesenia Gonzalez said many Venezuelans see this as the first real chance for democratic change, but Maduro supporters warn the intervention violates international law and could trigger civil unrest. There have also been reports of casualties during the U.S. operation, while calls continue in Venezuela for clarity on Maduro's fate and the country's next steps. Finally, internationally, world leaders have reacted with a mix of condemnation and support after U.S. forces captured Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro, and his wife during a strike on the country. Maduro has been indicted on drug trafficking charges in New York, and U.S. President Donald Trump says the U.S. will temporarily run Venezuela until what he calls a safe and judicious transition takes place. China, Russia, Iran, and several Latin American nations sharply criticized the operation as a violation of international law. Brazil's President Lula said the action crossed an unacceptable line, while Colombia and Chile also condemned the strikes. The UN Secretary General said he was deeply concerned and warned the move sets a dangerous precedent. But some Western leaders, including UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, said they would shed no tears over the end of Maduro's rule. While Argentina's President Javier Milei praised the operation, Maduro's interior minister has urged Venezuelans to remain calm as the international response continues to unfold. And that's news at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Looking for pet supplies that wouldn't bite? Visit Bow Wow Supply Limited, your friendly family-owned pet store at the corner of Cane Farm Avenue and 5th Street West, Cane Farm, Trinidad City.
We offer fabulous prices,
great service, and a wide range of foods, treats, toys, grooming products, and accessories. Everything your pet needs in one place. We are open Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sundays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Coming today, Bow Wow Supply Limited, Cane Farm Avenue and 5th Street West, Cane Farm, Trinidad City. Your pet's friendly place. Call us at 640-7184.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages.
Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rum Box. Drinking out of the box.
Welcome back, The Breakfast Show. Happy 2026, everybody.
Happy 2026, everybody.
Yeah, that's a good one. Are you hearing me clearly?
We are hearing you. And your dog?
Dog? I have no dog.
Yeah, I swear I heard a dog barking just now.
And check your window.
I live in let me say that. I live in an area where we are not supposed to have any pets, but trust me, people have dogs, people have all manner of things in this.
I wanted to play this video, if you may permit me. It's kind of like a spoof on what happened in Venezuela. It's a kind of spoof that a guy is doing with regard to that situation. So if you could just watch it a bit.
Night operation, I had some friends of mine execute a raid on my neighbor Tom's house. He put up quite a fight, but we got through and he's in custody. I haven't liked what he's been doing over there for a while now, so I've decided to run his house myself. He leaves his Christmas lights up too long. He never trims his avocado tree that hangs over my fence, and I believe he's running fentanyl out of there. I can't prove the last one, but it makes sense. I've seen him speak Spanish. I got rid of the wife as well. I didn't really have a problem with her, but we did do a 4th of July block party, and she brought empanadas, so better safe than sorry. I've got them at a Residence Inn a couple towns over. I've been using his home as my own little man cave. Pretty great. It turns out he has a fantastic wine cellar that I have tapped into extensively. Anyway, I'll be running his home until a time when I can have a safe, proper, and judicious turnover to some other guy. Which probably won't be happening soon. And just a heads up, I plan to take over some other neighbors' homes as well. Phil, across the street, has a pretty cool car I'd like to be in charge of. And Alex, who lives catty corner from me, has a wife who's a yoga instructor. Be taking that one soon. Again, doing it for the good of the neighborhood, so stay tuned.
Yeah. These parties that you see coming up, oh my word, what's that? People will be very creative, and I mean, I've seen some kind of things coming out. Oh my word. But that's a good one.
I thought that was a clever spoof for the whole situation.
Yeah,
I saw it, so you know. Yeah, but that's good to look up the line to take some calls, like Wendell went to do something in the bathroom. I don't know what.
Right, so lines are open to you. Taking your calls inside of this session here and on the Breakfast Show committee on New Era TT Radio and Gaia Caribbean TV. Good morning to you, Virginia.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. Happy New Year to you all and everyone else. And 7.7 million, and that's just conservatively speaking, 7.7 million Venezuelans, including those in Venezuela themselves, cannot be wrong. It cannot be wrong. And hey, Richard, enough respect, man, but nice, cute little video. And I know the comparison is doing there. But let me tell you something. Look at history. When Trinidad and Tobago took over what was formerly Texaco, and then they changed to whatever, NP, Petrotrin, or, whatever, Trintopec. There's a significant difference in how that happened, right? Because the resources and the basis of infrastructure of the oil and gas industry in Trinidad was developed maybe by not only the US, but other Western allies. And therefore, that cute little video you just played there, I think what you're basically trying to say is that is what happened in Venezuela. So you do remember that when Hugo Chavez when they took over the country by force, that they literally just kicked out, right, the oil companies. And the oil companies, with the millions, possibly billions, that they may have invested with the development of their, oil industry there in Venezuela. Okay, they lost. But not only they lost, shareholders lost, and including, to some extent, I'm sure, maybe even the citizens of the U.S. and the other countries who have developed that. So again, that's just my opinion. But guess what? Let's just sit back, wait and see what will happen. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Well, I guess that is all that we can do as spectators in between the thing. We have no control over the whole thing.
But just to correct him historically, Hugo Chavez didn't take over Venezuela by a coup. He was elected. Initially in 1998, I think it was when he was first elected.
Yeah, and you're sorry.
So, and then afterwards, he started to do a lot of the things that those dictators kind of do. They start to clamp down on free press. They start to restrict dissent. A lot of that happens as part of any autocratic takeover, which we have mentioned before, which has happened in Turkey, which has happened in India, which happened in Russia, which happened in China. But China maybe is a bad example because that has been ongoing there for decades. But certainly after Gorbachev split up the Soviet Union and became Russia, and they enacted a lot of freedoms. There was a vibrant free press that started up in Russia until Putin took over some 20 plus years ago. So initially Chavez was elected, but then of course a lot of those autocratic things started to happen.
Yeah, kicked
in. And he nationalized a lot of those oil companies aggressively, which is what I think you're trying to say. He nationalized them, which is what a lot of oil-producing countries do. They do nationalize, but maybe not in the way that Chavez did it. He was pretty aggressive about it, and he was a bit of a revolutionary. Well, we know what Chavez was, in terms of how he ruled Venezuela, but he certainly led Venezuela into an autocracy where dissent. Anytime you see free press is under attack, anytime you see dissent is under attack, watch out. Those are the signals of autocracy, when they don't want to hear opinions that are counter whatever the government's position is.
Yeah. Well, 1 minute. Richard, caller, good morning.
Hi, Sir. Good morning and Happy New Year to you.
Morning, Dominic. Happy New Year to you too.
Richard, morning and Happy New Year.
Morning, Happy New Year to you too.
Wendell, good morning and Happy New Year to you as well.
Morning and reciprocations.
So here it is, right? From that video I saw, I seen it last night. So everything that guy is saying is true except what Richard corrected him just now. When I was growing up, I only knew Venezuela to be a socialist country. There was nothing democratic about Venezuela. The presidents were just toeing the line, and staying in power. And as Richard said, it's only when Chavez came in, they had elections. But then, for me, that's my opinion. I believe things changed after Chavez when Maduro became president. And it went back to how it used to be, being socialist. And I believe what Maduro did was wrong. A lot of it, what he did was wrong, and America is part of it too, so both of them wrong. So, and he just brought back the country to how it used to be, people catching the tail end. And they are so rich in so many things, But now I don't know how come Desi Rodriguez could be still there if that means there's no regime change. But I guess that's probably for a short while, and she better watch it. She ain't gonna be there for long. And the best part in all of this thing what Donald Trump said was when he threw Miss Machado under the bus. She probably was calling up all her hairstylists and designers to get her things ready before she's going to be president. And she was thrown under the bus just like that. But I believe as well that she wasn't going to be president either, because I don't want to say these words, but I don't think she would have lasted long if she were to be the president. Because it's the military there who was loyal to Maduro and Chavez, they, even though they're out of power or out of that particular kind of work, she won't have it easy, and something would have happened to her. I wouldn't want to say it. We all have a wonderful day today. Bye.
Yeah. I think that can only happen if there really was a regime change. There's no regime change.
No.
So she going back there, she would be, that's like committing suicide. You better say what it is.
At the end of the day, there has been no regime change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the reality of it. If you know.
Errol Fabian is saying Delsie's still there because maybe it was she who betrayed Maduro. Is that a betrayal? Well, we use the word betrayed. We use the word betrayed in parentheses, because it could be some sort of arrangement that was made, which a lot of people are also speculating that some sort of arrangement has been made.
Well, I'm not going down this conspiracy theory rabbit hole, of which there are many, and which all they like to dive down and ruminate and marinate in. I'm not one of those. So let's keep to the facts. The facts were that there was a trajectory in terms of Maduro and a narrative that the U.S. has had with regard to Maduro, even to the point of having a $50 million bounty on his head.
Yes.
And building a case that he was a narco trafficker, saying he was part of an organization which they then declared a terrorist organization to give them the credentials to do what they did.
Yeah.
All of that was a build-up to get to that point.
Yes.
Now, of course, it raises a lot of questions, because now I suppose the important question, or the elephant in the room question is, has the U.S. now given up its moral authority to police anybody else about taking over any other country? So can you morally criticize Russia for what they're doing in Ukraine? China certainly has. I think Russia and China, for all of the protestations, slightly are probably clapping behind the scenes and giving themselves high fives, because they will say what they have to say internationally. But this is a reworking of the global rule-based system. And I don't even have to call it reworking. It's not a it's a practical reworking of it under the current administrations and governments we have across the planet. And the EU doesn't want to be too vociferous in their condemnation, because you heard Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of England, kind of towing the line.
Yes.
You know,
with the US.
Because the rules-based order is only rules-based once it aligns with what you want to do. And which is not what it should be. It should be, these are the rules and these are the rules. And for a lot of countries, that's what it is. But now if China decides that they're going into Taiwan, what's the moral authority of the United States to say, oh, you can't just go in just like that? And
what if Venezuela decides they want to go into Guyana?
Yeah, that's...
Which has been a threat. Which has been an alleged threat. You understand?
That's a threat, but that's not going to happen, because the oil resources, they are being utilized and being monetized by American companies and British companies too, I assume. But what stops China from saying the Taiwanese leadership is a big narco trafficking cartel and we are going to invade Taiwan? So I mean, I'm being exaggerative and I'm being extreme in it now, but
one day also doing something with Hong Kong recently.
No, well, Hong Kong is already part of China's territory. They've just clamped down on the democracy. They are done. When England handed back Hong Kong, there was a tacit agreement that the democracy of Hong Kong would continue. But practically, once you're part of China, China's going to clamp down on that, which is what they've done. And one of the richest men in Hong Kong was just recently sentenced, I believe, because he was head of the democracy movement in Hong Kong. So, and Taiwan is very much a democracy like how Hong Kong was. So how is that going to work? So in a rules-based system, in an international rule-based system, when the bigger, more powerful countries break and bend the rules, what is their moral authority to dictate or hold the rest of the world accountable?
Exactly that, because we're big and we're bad.
You know,
Hold one minute there, Richard. Sorry about that. Caller, good morning to you. Thanks for holding.
Good morning, gentlemen. All the best for 2026 to you all.
Same to you.
You know, much of what I was about to say was just articulated by you, gentlemen. It would be interesting to see how the United Nations would proceed when they convene at the next meeting to discuss this matter. What I would say, however, is that with all the shenanigans, Mr. Trump has now removed any doubt that this is about U.S. hegemony, about exploiting the resources of the countries in the West, particularly. He has been using this drug thing, even though it's a serious problem, as a ruse just to take the particular actions which he has taken so far. I would add that he is also very reluctant to engage in any ground activity, notwithstanding his boast. Because if you look at the record in ground activities, the Afghan war, for instance, was the longest war in U.S. history. So they're a bit reluctant to get entangled in land operations. Hence the reason why he is maintaining Dulce Rodriguez as the person who could maintain some stability in Venezuela. So I don't think we could expect much. And finally, in respect to the oil operations, I've been listening to an analyst, and his assessment is that would take many years because the oil companies are not obligated to take any action because the president has said so. And they have shareholders and investors, and the security situation is not what it should be in order for them to engage in any positive production.
But businesses don't like uncertainty.
And notwithstanding everything else, there's also an indication that the oil flow to China is being maintained because Venezuela still has to have revenue to at least keep the society functioning at a level that it was prior to this removal of Mr. Maduro. Have a good day, gentlemen.
And thanks very much.
Initially, President Trump said that they were going to run Venezuela. And then Marco Rubio kind of said he meant running policy.
Yeah.
The policy of the Trump administration with regard to how to deal with the Venezuela situation. So it wasn't running the country, it was running policy, which was kind of like a weak kind of step back from the position of what he said. But what is concerning, and has to be concerning for Europe, because as I said, Europe has been kind of tepid in their response, in my opinion. I'm sure Europeans may be free to disagree, but I find they kind of tepid. Whether this, and you could have a response in whatever direction. You could have a response in saying yes, you support the United States, or you could say yes, you have a response in saying no, you think this is wrong. Whatever your position is, have a position. But you have the issue of Greenland, where the Trump administration has, from time and time again, says that it would like to annex Greenland because of its strategic importance to the United States from a national security perspective. And of course, it has mineral wealth, etc. Of course, Denmark has repeatedly said it's part of the Kingdom of Denmark. And they're an ally. So why would you be saying things like that? But what stops the United States from doing that? If the rule-based order is now the old rule-based order, is the old rule-based order, global rule-based order, out the window, or is it still holding firm? And I think that's the question that we have to ask ourselves.
It's a whole changing situation in this what is supposed to be a modern world. let's take this call coming in here, and I don't know if the people in Guyana, if they're still with us, but if you have to leave us, thank you very much for being here with us on this first official working day for the Breakfast Crew. All right, caller, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard and Wendell. Happy New Year to you all. Sir Charles and Wendell and Richard, tell me something. We have laws in the land pertaining to protesting, and we are in a SOE. And yesterday, I was able to see that there was a protest going on, right? And nobody was arrested. All what we saw was happening was the roadblocks was more important than arresting these people who was breaking the law but protesting.
Who was protesting?
David Abdullah.
Yeah, there was a protest outside the Venezuelan.
Yes.
The Venezuelan
Yes.
embassy?
And Wendell, what I'm saying is this: how it is the law could be good for one type of people but not good for others. If it was I who was protesting there, Wendell would have to come and take my bail this morning because I would have been arrested, right? And charged. But it's all right for David Abdullah to lead a team of people out there. And
I'm hearing you, but the Colombian ambassador, I think, and the Venezuelan ambassador were also there.
Yeah, well, they would say they have diplomatic immunity.
Yeah.
But we're talking about, you have a Trinidadian fella in David Abdullah who always doing these type of things and getting away with it.
Well, I don't know to say that he's getting away with it.
It's a peaceful, to me it was a peaceful, it was advertised as a peaceful protest. They advertised
remember, we are in a SOE. They wasn't supposed to be doing that in the first place, right?
Well, I am not totally in agreement with you.
And them coming to lock me up, They would have wanted to lock me up because remember we in a SOE. Remember when we are national radio and we make certain statements, we always reminded that we are in a SOE and we have to be very careful for things that we would say on air, right? And for they to come now and say they're going to protest.
Well, maybe they had permission.
Yeah, maybe they had some sort of limited permission because we are not sure. We are not sure. But thanks much.
But they've had peaceful protests before. They were in Woodford Square twice.
Yeah.
Concerning the whole issue, well, the then issue of what was taking place, but it's ramped up now. But it was something that was advertised too. It wasn't a secret.
No, it wasn't.
They didn't.
They must have had some sort of permission.
I think they probably did.
And is it also that it may more have been more of a gathering type than a protest actually? Because like for functions and parties and all these things where thousands of people are coming together, it has some kind of provision that it can happen.
Yeah, I'm sure they had some sort of permission. And even if they didn't, nothing. It wasn't how I should put it, a rowdy thing. It was just a group of people. Yeah. I don't even know how many people there were. You know what we're not hearing though? How many fatalities, if any, happened in Venezuela? You hear nothing about that. Eh?
They have something I read somewhere. They said it was like about 40 individuals that they had counted so far. Somewhere I was reading that. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Consisting of some of his security detail and persons like that. I think they had a count of about 40 individuals so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
all right.
But that was interesting. All right, guys. Well, I think that's what we're going to do for today.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for being back inside on the Breakfast Show.
All right. Oh, you're all right there?
I'm waiting on the president.
All right. Folks, have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember to let go and let go.
Yeah, of course, this has been our first show for 2026, and we're glad that you chose us. We know you have a choice of what you listen to, and we're glad that you chose the Breakfast Show.
Mm-hmm. Not much to choose from these days, eh? Bye-bye.
All right, so speak to you bright and early tomorrow morning. Of course, New Era TT Radio continues on the stream, EraTTRadio.com, and New Era TT Radio on TuneIn. And just in case you forgot and you didn't know, this has been The Breakfast Show.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new breakfast show got the vibes turned